Hello, Universians. I am your host, Dot, and you are now listening to Hotbox the Podcast. Fantastic. Hope you all have gotten a step closer to your dreams today. As you all know, peace and love, all that good stuff. Let's jump right into it. Mr. Jello Pudding's in jail. As you can tell by my abrasive segue into that I don't really care. See, here's the thing. I know from, and this is extremely bothersome for me, that there's a lot of, there's a vibe out there that suggests that all these women were lying on Bill Cosby. I'm not sure what the number actually got to. Just a wild guess. I think it was something like 60. So my standpoint is, even if, let's say, 50 of them were lying or embellishing, isn't 10 still enough to go to jail? Like, I think he got 3 to 6. Again, if I'm wrong, you can always hit me up on the podcast page. Oh yeah, got a new Hotbox the Podcast page on Facebook. You can look that up. It's at Hotbox the Podcast. All your hate mail and your compliments and your corrections, those are all welcomed. Please contact me. I would love to talk to you, especially those who feel like Bill Cosby is getting a raw deal. Now, I find it interesting that mainly black folk are, backing this man when he did nothing but shit on the black community. Shit on rap, shit on the culture, just because people cursing, had baggy pants at the time. He felt he was holier than thou. Now, that has nothing to do. Those are his personal preference. It has nothing to do with his allegations, which are now not allegations. He's been convicted for them. Excuse me. How many people have to come forward before y'all say, oh yeah, he might be raping people? And then, if I'm not mistaken, I vaguely think he admitted to most of this. But nah, the white man is out to get him because he wanted to buy NBC or something silly. That's this guys. I don't even have the heart to, I don't have the wherewithal to make a joke out of this. This is really bad. There's a rape culture going on in our midst, and we never believe the victim. Now, granted, my standpoint, I always go by rule of 3. One allegation to me is enough for, okay, let's investigate. I still want to hear both sides. Somebody might be lying. 2, I'm like, oh, okay, still that you can still scorn one person and they can be mad, especially if you're rich. 2 is really easy to, have 2 women to come out against you in that. There's some smoke brewing though. 3, I'm like, nah, you did that shit, bruh. I still want you to go to court. Let's get all the facts, but you did that shit. 50, 11 times he been raping. 11. 50. Probably 60. All those women ain't lying. And then I seen a meme with the lady. Well, a picture. What constitutes a meme now? Anyway, a picture of the lady that he assaulted, and most people are saying, you think he was around all these beautiful women on the Cosby Show? Didn't touch them, which we don't know that he didn't. Didn't touch them, but raped this ugly white woman. That is the most ignorant shit I've ever heard. You do know rape is about control, right? It's not about... Sorry about random noises popping up on my shit. Anyway, it's not about looks. It's not about any of that. It's about power. It doesn't matter how you look. I'm mad I even have to say that to people. To women, nonetheless. Women of all, you should know. I venture to say 100% of women in this world have been at least sexually harassed. Maybe not assaulted, maybe not raped, but at least sexually harassed. And I would say, I don't know what the numbers are. It's because a lot of people don't come forward, but I'm venture to say 100% of women have been sexually harassed. So it's not a long leap to think that rich, powerful men do shit like this. I'm not surprised. And then the narrative is that, oh, Weinstein's not going to jail. Kevin Spacey's not going to jail. And all the countless other white people who have been accused of sexual assault are still walking. Does that make it okay to you? So what think about what you're really saying there. What are you saying? That because our justice system is flawed, which it is, and I do agree, those people should go to jail. But because it's flawed, we as black people should be able to rape people? Is that what you're really saying? So, because Weinstein is out, Bill Cosby should be out as well. I hope for those of you who have daughters that you realize this is why people don't come forward. This is exactly why. They and then on top of that, just the trauma for it is just to even bring it up is hard. Talking about your sexual assault is hard. So when a person does bring it up, it doesn't matter if Bill Cosby was about to buy NBC, or as I segue into the next segment, Kavanaugh is trying to be a Supreme Court judge. Doesn't matter when you bring it up. If you did it. Now, this is going to really upset black people, because while I believe, I think Dr. Ford's testimony, I believe her, because after seeing Kavanaugh's testimony, he looks like a dude being accused of cheating. Like his woman comes to him, just tell me the truth. You've been cheating, haven't you? And he's like, bitch, fuck you. I will never do nothing. How dare y'all fuck off? You fucked up my, how dare you? And then she shows him the screenshots or text messages, and he's like, but well, that was a different time. I like beer. Beer's really good. I like beer. Beer's amazing. I like beer. Beer tastes really good, and I like beer. I believe Ford, but again, I go by the rule of one. But while I was going by the rule of one, there's two other women that have come through against Kavanaugh. And I believe one name is Diane Ramirez and some other lady that I will get back to you, or you already know, I'm sure, if you haven't been living under a rock. At what point do we stop, blaming the victim? Women should be able to go to parties, get drunk, take drugs, whatever the fuck they want to do, without threat of being raped. I do. I go to parties all the time. Well, not as much as I used to, but I don't have that fear that I'm going to wake up with a dick in my mouth. It's a really valid fear for them. And in this case, Kavanaugh's case, we all know what a devil's triangle is. And if you haven't heard the testimony, that was brought up by one of the senators, and he said it's a drinking game. Now, for all my sexually ignorant people out there, a devil's triangle is when you have a threesome with two men and a woman. of women. 2 men and a woman. I gotta start smoking. I'm fucking up, guys. But thanks for staying with me. Yeah, 2 men and a woman. Like a train. That's what the homies used to call it. Oh, we're gonna run a train. While if consensual, I ain't got no problem with that. It don't seem like this was consensual. The guy looked super mad, upset that his allegations were being up there. And don't get me wrong, Supreme Court judge is a great job. I mean, it's for life. But don't you think these allegations off top disqualify him and the way he's, acted during his hearing? That doesn't seem like a impartial judge to me. And I know most people, mainly women, wouldn't want someone like Kavanaugh making decisions on their behalf. As far as you can't have somebody over women like that making big decisions. Like if abortion comes up, we already know where he's leaning to. He's a fucking dick. He's a sexist dick. And probably a rapist. But back to Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby did that shit, guys. Come on, man. We as black people have to demonize this behavior and the ones that are actually guilty so we make sense when we're defending the innocent, i.e. those being shot in the street by police unlawfully. If we go around saying black people don't ever do nothing, we look stupid and our argument has no weight to it. So what disturbed me most in the Bill Cosby case is that you guys went really hard for Bill Cosby, a wealthy man who had he lived a long life. Long life of luxury. But y'all don't show any love for countless inmates that have been in jail for marijuana crimes. That are still in jail for marijuana crimes. Or the ones that aren't supposed to be in jail. Or the ones who were shot, again, in the street. I.e., Botham. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. The guy that was shot in his apartment by a cop, thinking it was her apartment. Now, you guys aren't in a outrage about that. But Bill Cosby's innocent. Fuck y'all. I don't give a fuck your color at all. You did that shit. You got to do the time for that shit. Now, I don't know the statute of limitations on any of that. But I know 60 people the nigga's 80. So that means if he actually, let's assume he did all 60. He been doing this shit since 20. That's at least once a year. He raped somebody once a year. That's fucking ridiculous, and you should all be ashamed of yourselves. Don't come to me with this bullshit, oh, you're a coon, fuck you and your pseudo black power bullshit. Everyone that partakes in this type of behavior, Kavanaugh included, Weinstein included, needs to be demonized. I think they should go to jail too. If, in fact, what they did is true, they should go to jail. Now, I vaguely believe Weinstein might be on his way. I'm not sure about Kavanaugh because I don't know too much about that case past Ford's, what she said, in which him and his homies basically took her in a room and humped her, essentially. But I think she had a bathing suit on, so they couldn't get it off and they couldn't actually rape her. Now, let's think about the women that did not come forward, that don't want this burden on them of people hating them for telling their truth. Because she ain't the only one. It's never the one person. If you get away with rape, you probably raped other people, i.e. Mr. Jello Pudding. So, again, like I said, kiss my ass on that. Bill Cosby belong where he need to be. I hope it's a nice and easy few years for him. But maybe don't put people to sleep. I don't know. I don't know. Again, there are questionable situations with consent. You never know. I do know if they're asleep, they can't consent. That I do know. So anyway, this Me Too movement, women, keep it pushing, keep going. If you got to put your truth